So I'm going to focus how to install Node.js in your Windows. So I just download, this is a screenshot I taken from my download. So I have a Windows system. So x64 is a 64-bit processor. So I download a Node.js for 64-bit processor. And now click run. Once you click run, it will allow you to go for the setup wizard and click install. Then click next, and it will direct you to change the path. So you can give your destination folder where you want to install Node.js. So this is the important step you have to take it out. Suppose if you want to have a separate path for it, yes, it is always recommended to store a separate path for installation. So if you want to change that, you can do that. Otherwise, you can store it in the same place and click next button after that. So what are the things we are going to install? So Node.js, npm package, that is a node package manager and other things. Once you click that, click next, and then it will ask you to install. So it will take some time to get installed. So it will not take much time to install the software. Hardly it will take 3 to 5 minutes. After that, it will get installed. The package is not a very lengthy file. It is a short file. So it can be downloaded and it can be get installed on the folder that is specified. So these are the simple steps we have to follow for installing Node.js on Windows. If you are opening with the Linux or any Android or any Mac OS, in that case, the setup is similar and you can follow the same setup, right? So just install the Node.js in the appropriate folder and then configure it. That's it. So what is the purpose of studying Node.js? What we can do with Node.js? That's an important question, because we have been talking many things on dynamic programming, dynamic web page content. So in PHP also we have done it. In JavaScript also we had a dynamic web page and we have made a web page content dynamically. So what way it is differed? So that is the one important thing. So if you want to make an affordable, reliable, ease of use, many plugins if you want to have, many packages if you want to install, for all of that stuff, Node.js facilitate the operation in a much easier context. So if you want to have a free, open, affordable kind of services, yes, it is always recommended to design a web page using Node.js, and you can connect the servers, you can have a good interfaces among the servers. Yes, all the things are made possible and can make the interoperability very much safer and robust. So that is the ultimate aim of using Node.js. And many applications started using Node.js, and companies like eBay, GoDaddy, Microsoft, PayPal, Uber, even Uber is following Node.js kind of setup for connecting client and server. So this is very much useful, and you can create dynamic web page contents. You can deal with the file operations like open, read, write, delete, close, all the things that are done in PHP. The same thing is going to be performed in Node.js as well. And you can collect data in the forms as well as you can deal with the databases. So in what way we dealt database in PHP and MySQL connectivity, the same way we can do it over here. So these are three things we are going to discuss in this class. So in this class, what I'm going to focus is how to create a simple Node.js program, how to execute the Node.js program. Second, how to export value to other Node.js program. Third, how to get and extract value from the forms. And fourth, how to create database and how to operate on the database. So in the last class, we talked on MongoDB. In the MongoDB, we are talked about what is database, what is collection, how to insert value to the collection, how to update collections, how to delete values to the collections, how to select value from the select collections. So these were the things we discussed in the last class, MongoDB class. So that I'm going to bring it over here. And how can we connect Node.js and MongoDB? These are two things we are going to discuss in this class. Apart from that, how do you know that the Node.js is installed on your machine? For that, you have to type node v. It will tell you what is the version of Node that you install on the machine. Likewise, there is other thing called npm, that is in a Node package manager, that will let you know what is the version. That is npm-v will let you know what is the npm version that you have installed on the machine. Likewise, if you want to install any other framework for Node.js, like Express.js or MongoDB or TerBees, whatever it may be, if you want to install anything like that, simply say npm install Express, npm install MongoDB, npm install uppercases. Uppercase is a package. Suppose if you want to convert, there are many inbuilt functions available, many interfaces are available. You can use them in your project. Suppose if you want to sort some elements, yes, you can go for sorting the elements. So there is a separate package for sorting the element, right? For strings, there is separate functions available, package available to sort it, and ascending or descending or arranging it in any order. For all of that, you can go for string functions. So likewise, you can go in here and you can find that the Express is installed on the machine. You type npm install Express or npm install MongoDB. It will be get installed on the path that you already set. right? So this is a simple process we have on Node.js. Now with this, I close it. Now I go for demonstration. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to demonstrate how I'm going to use Node.js and how to write a program in Node.js and how to check the version of it and how to work on Node.js. So those are the things I'm going to discuss in a short time. Now, first one is this is the command prompt. In the command prompt, if you want to just check what is the node version that I'm installed, whether it is installed or not, just type, it will tell you what is a version. That is Node.js version 14.16.1 is a version that is get downloaded in the path. Likewise, if you want to know the npm, what is a version of npm that has been installed on this machine, for that it will tell you, it will get you 6.14.2 is the version, right? Likewise, suppose if you want to perform any operations that we do in Python, we are performing many operations in the console itself. So no need to go to write a separate program for addition of two numbers, for calculations, for any string functions or any mathematical functions. For all of that, no need to write a separate program. Instead, you can do it in the console itself. Likewise, if you want to do something like this, just simply type node. It will give you a prompt for you to Node.js, and then it will tell you welcome to Node.js and version is, and this is a place where you can type it. Now, if you want to do console log, here I'm giving 1 plus 1. So it will tell you 2. Right? Likewise, if you are saying any message, if you want to print any message, welcome to Node.js class, then it will display that. Or if you want to perform any operations like it will do that. It will do that. So these are things you can do it. So in Python also we have a console interface there we can perform these operations. So yes, you can do that as well here. So the same way here we can do that. What are things? Say I am going to my path. Now here I'm just install more Node.js here. My node. So just a next one is what I'm going to do is I just go to the path where I install Node.js and then cd. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. cd first tab. So this is the folder where I have installed. This is the folder that I have installed it. This is the folder I have. So here I have run all the programs, right? So this is the place. Here, first I'm going to write the program. First program I'm going to show to you. So this is the console.log hello world. So this is the line I have given. So this is what I've done to the interface, the console. The same thing I'm going to do over here. The same thing I'm going to write here. So how can I execute it? Node is a command. In what we have done MongoDB in Mongo, likewise here node. What's the file name? First program dot what type of file it is? It is JavaScript file. So when I enter, it will say hello world. Clear? So this is how the first program is going to be get executed on Node.js. Next one is what I'm going to do is I have a file called what date model. Here what I'm going to do is I'm going to export the value. So this is what I said in the earlier case. So export is a function which is going to export the value to the model, other model. My date is a function. My date time is a function which is going to return what? A date value. That is, the date is a function, is a predefined function which is going to get the date, current date, and then return it. To whom? To the export means which function is going to, which model is going to call that model. So here I have a node date model. Here I have given it clearly. So what I'm doing is where HTTP require HTTP, I require a browser. There I have a protocol, HTTP protocol has to be initiated and require, what's the file to require? Date module. This is the file I require. This is the export file I have. So that I'm including over here, date module. So require date module. Likewise in PHP we have done it now, include and require. So likewise here we have a require function which is going to copy the path of the date module file in a variable pointer variable called what DT. Right? So this is a require file. Next, I'm creating a server using this HTTP. I'm creating a server. So function require rest is output. So rest write head 200 listening port, content type HTML or text, whatever it may be. Now writing it, I'm result of writing. This is a variable dot write Senthil Kumar. The date and time are currently. So what I'm going to get, this module dt my date time is a function I there. That is a my date and time is a function I have defined in the file called what date model, and that is going to be executed and that is going to return over here. Now where it is going to listen? The port for listening this server is what? 8080. So how can I execute this code? This is a simple code where I am getting the data from other module, other file as well. So how can I do that? How can I execute it? So go to command prompt, just type node, What is the file name I have? The file name is node underscore date module is a file that I have to execute. Node underscore date module dot js. That is a file that I have created. That includes what date module file as well. So when I click this one, what happened is it is responding node date module dot js. Node data model. This is responded. Now what I have to do is in the program I have given that in the program what I have given, it has to be executed in the browser itself. So I have given the HTTP protocol. So you have to go to your browser. You have to go to your browser, localhost colon 8080 or you can do 8081, right? Backslash. When I click enter, what happened? It will display Senthil Kumar, the date and time are currently, the date function will be executed over here, right? So this is how you can execute the code. You can transport the data to other module and that will be transported further to what? Your browser. So this is other case. Next one is this is the other program. And next one is suppose suppose if you want to read the file. Suppose in the read file, I have HTML file. In the HTML file, I have given my first page. Hi everybody, I am Senthil Kumar. This is a HTML file. How can I read this content? Simple, right? So for that, I have a different node read file. Here I given what? The same thing. HTTP require what? The file server and then request read file 1. Read file is a function which is going to read file 1. This is the file 1.html, read file 1.html. That is a file I'm reading here and the data I'm putting it over here, right? And put the data here. So where does it execute? On the HTTP protocol and the listen port is what? 8080. So similarly, when you go for executing this node read file 1, what happened? It will just come over here, say node. What is the file name? The file name is node underscore read file 1. Node underscore read file 1. Read file 1.js. When I click this one, what happened? Again, it responded to the server. So what I do? We have to open the browser and simply type local host colon 8080 slash. Now it will tell you my first page. Hi everybody, I am Senthil Kumar. So this will be get resulted. Now how can I get the value that is given in the HTML? How can I extract the value that is given in the HTML? So I'm going phase by phase. Many people know about Node.js. I'm explaining to the people who are new to Node.js, want to familiarize with the Node.js. So listen carefully. I'm going phase by phase, starting with how to execute the statement in console, and then how to execute a simple Node.js program. After that, how to process it in a program. After that, how to pass value to the Node.js browser. After that, how can I pass value from HTML to Node.js browser? And now how to extract. So that is the third part. So here again, I'm going for what? Extract. For extracting, what I'm going to do is I have a file called what? Index. So in the index, I have a form. In the index, I have a form. What is a form? Form action. This is the port 8081. Process get, method equal to get. First name, last name. I'm getting two text box, input table text, and click submit. Once I click submit, what happened? It is going to process the process. So here this is the process get. Here is a server. In the server, I have defined the page. What is that? Request. I'm installed Express.js already. So I'm using Express.js and here I'm getting the value. Response equal to first name dot require dot query dot first name. That is a first name is a attribute name in the form and last name that I'm going to get it and that I'm going to print it over here in the portal 8081 function, right? So this I'm going to execute now. So see how this is going to be executed. When I click this index, now I'm going to execute the command prompt. In the command prompt, I just go back. Now, and then cd html get, and there I am going to execute what? Server node server.js. So what happened? It is responded to the browser. So it has been waiting for the server to get value. So what I'm going to do is I'm just executing this index HTML file. I'm just executing this index HTML file. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to give Senthil Kumar. When I click submit, what happened? It will tell you the first name is Senthil and last name is Kumar. This is what I defined in the server Node.js program, JavaScript program, right? So when I come back to the prompt, you can see that first name is Senthil and last name is Kumar. So the value has been processed over back to the shell as well, right? So the example lesson 8081 4 as well as I'm getting the value as well over here, right? So this is how you can get the things done. Likewise, if you want to process, your MongoDB, suppose you want to create a database. Suppose if you want to create a database, not only file, not only get the value from the form, also you can connect to the database. For connecting to the database, what you have to do is, in what way we have connected PHP and MySQL, the same way you can do it over here as well. So that is called what? First one, require MongoDB. This you have to install it. So you have to go for npm install Mongo. That will install the MongoDB into the path, and then you will get the Mongo client, and that will be stored over here. And MongoDB localhost 27017/company. What is company? Company is the database name I'm going to create. The new database name I'm going to create. So the path of this will be stored in a variable called what? URL. And that URL I'm going to connect using what? URL function, and that I'm going to create it. Database created. If there is no error thrown for this connection, then the database is created. Otherwise, it will let you know what's the error happened during the connection setup. Right? So this is a simple thing. In what way I've done MySQL I_connect in PHP and MySQL, the same way, the same fashion, we are doing it over here. So Mongo client, MongoDB, this database name is being get pathed, and that path name is being connected over here, and I'm getting the database is created. So how can I do that? Again, I just go to command prompt. In the command prompt, I just go to, then I just type what? Node. What is the terminal? Mongo create dot, it's a JavaScript file .js. If I do that, then what happened? It will tell you the database is created. If it is not created else, then what happened? It will be created. Clear? So that means that what? The database is created with this connection. Now what we are to do is, we are going to deal with how the database has to be connected. So I'm going to explain the other steps of Node.js with MongoDB connectivity. I make it a little short. So it's a similar database is connected with the same connection. What are things you can do it? So this I've been explained over here. First one, we are creating a driver, MongoDB, and then specify the connection URL. What's the employee DB is a database name, and that I'm connecting this URL and using the connection string and connect the database. And then if it is connected, it is giving a message that database is connected, and then finally I close the database. It is always recommended to close the database connection if there is no longer needed. This is a simple step we have. Next one, suppose if you want to get data, suppose if you want to fetch data from the MongoDB database, a database is connected here. Up to this, we have already seen it. Now, what I do is we have to fetch the value from the database, from the tables, or from the collections. So, if you want to get data from the collection, then you have to say what? DB, there's a DB here, dot collection. What's the collection name? Dot find. So, these are all we have seen in the last class. We have seen the demo of all the things of MongoDB, how the collection has been created, how insert has been happened, how delete operation, update operation, and then find operation, sort operation, regression pattern, searching, all the things we had seen in the last class. So that I have to follow over here. And only one thing you have to remember over here, that is that suppose in PL by SQL, you might have heard that cursor. So what is a cursor? At what situation we have to go for cursor? If the result holds more than one record, particularly if it holds more than one value, then you cannot accommodate in an object. For that, you have to create a temporary memory space called what? Context area. That context area we call that as a cursor. So whenever I want to get more than one record as a result, suppose if I say select asterisk from employee where employee ID equal to 101. If I give like this, what would happen? It is going to give only one record as a result. Why? Because employee ID is a primary key. If the search operation, if I search the value with the primary key, then automatically the result is going to be always 1. Suppose if I say like this, select asterisk from employee where age equal to 25, then there are certain situations, there are many cases that more than one employee can have the same age at 25. So in this case, number of records will be more. It is more than one. So if it is more than one, you cannot accommodate it in a single variable or an object. For that sake, we have to store it in the cursor. Likewise, in database trigger, this is MongoDB also. If you are finding the data from the collection may have one document or more than one document. A table may have one row or more than one row. In that case, We have to store it in the cursor. If I store the values in the cursor, we have to go for what? For each statement. That is a for iteration we have to go. So cursor, each function, error.document, console.log, that value, that record is going to, document is going to be printed. So what is the document I have fetched in the employee, what's the document there in the employee collection, that will be fetched one by one and it is going to be printed over here. So this is a simple step. So how to fetch data. So in the last class we have explained about how fetch data with where class. There is a title only or a semester only or year only, like that we have seen. So that condition you can apply it over here and you can get the data. And likewise, this is a program. Likewise, suppose if you want to insert one row, extra one record, then in the collection, employee ID 4, employee name, new employee name that you can give over here. So the same connection here. Only thing is you have to go for a command called what? Insert one, or you can say insert also. So it will be inserted one record. Suppose if you want to update it, yes, you can get update employee, new employee, then set employee name equal to Morgan. Set employee, new employee. This is a search criteria for the document that needs to be uploaded. This is the employee I'm going to change to new value Morgan. So the new employee can be changed to here. I given what new employee. This is the record. So for new employee, I change the value to what? Morgan. So only one record is getting uploaded, right? This condition match. Likewise, if we want to delete one, so if I delete the record called Morgan, so I delete the record Morgan. So by saying delete one or delete many, you can go for. If you want to record that if there is a more than one Morgan in the database, employee database, entire database collection. If you want to remove all the Morgan that is there in the collection, yes, you can go by what? That is delete many, or you can simply say delete. If you say delete one, it will delete only one record. If you simply say delete, it will delete more than one, right? And likewise, you can perform all the other actions. You can perform all the other actions that we have discussed in the last class, and you can do that. So with this, I stop today's lecture. And what are the things we have discussed on MongoDB and Node.js? If you have any questions on that, this is a simple thing. There are a lot more to learn from it, but what I'm doing is I just make a short presentation and explain you how to start with Node.js and MongoDB and how to connect to MongoDB and Node.js and how to extract value from the Node.js.